Victorious Ministries International and Pastor Tony Smith presents Conversations.
God bless you. Thank you for allowing us to come again. Conversations. These women are incredible with information and applying it and allowing it to be a part of your life and your home. I want you to go to PastorTonySmith.com and see all the programming and all the things that Pastor Tony Smith and Victorious Ministries is doing today. Let's get into the word and the conversations. In the return, conversations will get into you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Sister Tracy, and welcome to Conversations. Did you know that the United States is no longer the leader in secondary education? Right now, we rank about number 17 out of the top 34 countries. Do you think we should send our children to school all year long? Well, please stay tuned for this and more. Welcome to Conversations. Hi. Okay, ladies, today we are going to be talking about our children's education and basically why the United States is lacking behind so many countries. And also, do you guys think that we can pick up some space or some stamina between us and these countries? Right now, the United States ranks about number 17 out of 34 countries, and the top 5 are Korea, Japan, Finland, the United Kingdom, and our friends up north, Canada. Cool. Right. And we're not even in the top 5. So my question to you guys, what do you believe is the driving force for these countries and basically their zeal for education?
I think it's consistency. That's one of the things that they have. You know, they stick with a set of rules and they have them and everybody abides by them, and it is what it is. There is no, break away from the structure. That's mainly what it is, I guess, structure with the consistency. There's much more structure than we have. There's a lot of loose things going on, and then there's a lot of untied ends, so to speak. A lot of things are always up in the air, being decided, but there's no definite, no permanent decisions. So with their structure, you really don't have much room to go outside of what they already have laid the foundation for.
I agree. I actually lived in Korea for a year, and just watching the students go to school and seeing how they have longer school days. Okay. They don't get the summer breaks how we get the 3 or 4 months. The kids get 3 or 4 months off, and so I just think the education is their focal point, and it's not just going to school, but it's actually teaching them something. So I think that's the difference in where we lacking with a lot of countries.
I agree with you too. Just about focusing, and I think we don't have enough focus here. Okay. I think we focus too many things on other things and not the exact right thing. And I think they believe in something and they continue to try to push forward to what they really believe in and let everything else fall in place when it's time to.
Okay.
Well, I was just going to add to that I think that you use the word zeal, and I think that America has lost its zeal for education. We've taken for granted that we're going to get things without education, that that it's not as important as it once was, and I think we've lost our zeal for it. Other countries have.
Why is that you think that we lost our zeal, and what basically has made us lose our zeal for education?
I think it's multiple factors. I think that, and Evangelist Chantal mentioned, I think that our focus is so diverted to so many different things that education has just, fallen down the rank of priorities.
Okay. You know, as I was doing my research, I was looking at this, and I was seeing like our economic structure and how everyone is after the dollar, and they're like, okay, yes, dollar. I need to get rich. I need money. I need to do this. I need to do that. Why can't they have the same zeal for our children's education? We see cutbacks and setbacks in education programs and things like that. Like some schools don't even have gym anymore, no more music or anything like that, no health programs, things like that. So I was just looking at that, and it's very disappointing because I see like we had so many opportunities afforded to us.
Yeah.
And what are we doing for our children?
I can remember, I think now we have this microwave mentality to get it quick. And I can remember if I was having a problem with math, they will have tutors after school that will help me in that. So the teachers would actually take time and say, okay, we're going to sit a half an hour or extra hour and teach you how to do this. And they actually took the time. And I wanted to know it. But I think nowadays it's like, you know, I don't have to, you know, have the education, you know, it'll be okay, I can get over. But I wanted to know better so I can have the understanding, because I always was told, when you get older, you are going to need to know this. And I think now it's like, okay, what am I going to need to know it for? Because, you know, I can add. You know, we don't really think about that other stuff. So,
and you know, the other thing that's really missing in the schools, and you know, you all may be even too young to remember. I don't know whether you had this in school. Guidance counselors.
We had guidance.
I mean, that's like a non-existent position anymore. But you know, the beauty of the guidance counselor was that he or she showed the children the benefits of education to their future. So they were helping to guide them through high school. Now it's just a matter of passing a test and getting out. There's really nobody established in the school system to tell these students what they can do with an earned education.
Right. I think that I know this is going to be out of the blue, but that whole No Child Left Behind kind of,
yeah, that's where I was going.
That is what really killed us. I don't believe they allowed the states to set their own guidelines, and then also to make their own correlations, and they made that they don't have anyone accountable.
That's right.
Over this whole No Child Left Behind Act, and I think that's where we all lacked.
So why do you think that? I mean, because the whole purpose of No Child Left Behind was so that we make sure that every child received a proper education. So why do you think? Why do you say it worked against us? Or
because there's no checks and balances. You know, the state, you guys, you make your own test. You guys grade yourselves. It's up to you. That's just basically
I think, but still we talking about money, because the No Child Left Behind is dealing with funds.
Right.
Is that if this school does well, then they get the funds to their school, but the whole thing is geared towards tests. So all year long is that you brain it in their, you drill in their head, pass this test, but what are they learning outside of taking a test?
Right, and that's the only thing. That's exactly what it is. All you're learning is what's on this test, but you need other things. And I think that what has happened with our education system in the United States is we have stopped looking toward future. We keep saying, you know, well, it used to be, because they probably don't even say it anymore, that the children are our future. Well, now they don't have a future because we're so busy just trying to push them along and go through the loopholes. And now people are substituting life skill for education. I mean, you can actually go to a job and you can get hired, you get life skill credits, you know, off of things like that.
But you should hold nuts.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, it's experience. It's, I mean, that's what they're saying. That's what, you know, life skills. You can get hired off of, you know, you had this experience, and then on the job training.
Right.
You know, instead of going to school and learning what you're supposed to.
But you know, I think we don't want it. We're changing so many things to go in the wrong directions, but the things we need to change, we're so set in and we don't want to change as a people. And I think even with the whole going to school all year long and having breaks in between, I think, you know, they've been trying to change this for years, but nobody wants to change, because everybody can say, well, let kids be kids. Is that what they need? A summer, they need to have a time to have a recreational thing, but I think that we're seeing our kids are lacking, and I don't think they need a summer off.
So what you're talking about is you are saying that we should have year-long schools for our children.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't think
a lot
that
of
we
places
should
do it, and I think it's successful.
What in those countries you named?
Yeah, a lot of those countries that I named,
and even
they
California, they do the.
Yes, they do.
By you saying that, what is going to come out of us having
the benefits? Well, benefits is that basically how they do it is they do a 45-15. 45 days you go to school, 15 days you have off, but you have them off in different breaks, so you have like
3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times a year. So that way you're not trying to drill it in come September. All the things that you taught them last year, you're taking a month or 2 months to drill it in what they learned last year. So 2 months is already wasted because they have so much time. And then you think about it, how many kids really are outside doing something productive? If your kid in the summertime wants to get any type of education, now you have to pay for it.
Right.
So most parents right now can't even afford to send their kids to summer camp. So you're in the house, babysitting the other siblings, playing video games, on the corners getting in trouble because it's not the programs that we once had where we had recs and stuff that were, you know, recreational for us. So really, it's not a productive summer at all.
I don't disagree with you. In fact, I can remember where, and I think this, you know, over the years has really put a negative spin on summer school, because summer school used to be a punishment.
I went to summer
school.
school.
Right. Summer school used to be a punishment. You did everything you could
not to go out to be exactly right.
So we, you know, we sort of, you know, our thinking has been, you know, geared towards summer school was negative.
Right.
So, but I think I agree. I think that kids need to be in school for longer periods of time, because you lose so much when you're off during summer.
But the difference is, and I was going to say this real quick, you know, but I think we got to restructure the whole school system, because we can keep them in longer, but the thing about it is that we keep them in longer, we're not changing the way we teach them.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I was about to say. It doesn't matter how long you, to me, this is my opinion, and I am an educator. It doesn't matter how long you keep children in school, because let's just take Finland. We're in the United States, well, at least we're in Baltimore, so we have 180 days of school. Finland has 190 days of school, and they're ranked #1 in math and science. How does 10 days make a difference?
So it's not,
you know what I mean? So it's
the
not that,
structure.
it's just the structure. It doesn't have anything to do with the amount of days that they're in school. And the thing about the review, how are you going to learn something unless you review it? So that's how even adults learn. So I know, you know, what you're saying about, and that is, it does get to be a waste of time if you have to continue to do it because they're not learning.
So you feel that they should be out for a whole summer?
But this is
I don't think, it's not about them being out. I think the days should be changed. I'm not saying that they shouldn't get their time, their free time off or whatever. And the thing about it is, people think that it's a really long vacation. It's really not. School gets out toward the middle or the end of June. They really only have July, the whole month of July off, and half of August, because now they go back at the end of August. They go back before Labor Day. So they have a month and a half off.
So has the school year lengthened over the years? Because I
Yes,
noticed
it has.
Well,
They go
snow
back
days,
earlier.
snow days.
Yes, now they build in days or whatever, you know, because of the weather, and we live in a, you know, in a state where we get inclement weather at times. So there are days built in. But the thing about it is, when I looked at those stats and I said 10 days more, and they are #1 and we're number 17 or 25, 10 days is not going to make a difference. It's the education. It's the education.
Now, my only negative point about year-long schools, what about those families who live in like the Midwestern countries whose children help on the farm during the summertime? What's going to happen to them?
That's few and far between, though.
What about the kids that actually have jobs, or
that's
they
what
have
I did
to get
during the summer.
jobs?
What you trying to talk about?
But a kid has a job during the summertime, you can get a job after school. The same thing.
Well, okay, they're getting a job after school, but then what if they are in school for longer periods of time? They have those extracurricular activities that begin at 7, end at 7 p.m. That's how my school day was. I don't know about you.
Okay, but do you rather your kid have a summer job, or do you rather them be educated?
But sometimes these summer jobs help with the family.
No, I understand, and everybody's economic situation is different. But what I'm saying is that even the whole structure has to change, because we're finding our kids are stupid.
But not all of our kids are.
Hold on.
Listen to stupid kids until we'll be right back.
No,
we'll like to thank Pastor Tony Smith and the Victorious Ministries. Please stay around for this commercial break.
God's Excellent Disciples Christian Academy is a private school dedicated to educating children from all walks of life. We understand that your child comes to us with unique experiences, interests, and learning styles. Our goal is to truly know your child well and use this knowledge to guide, support, and motivate. We believe good teaching requires continual learning from us as well as the students. We value parent involvement and encourage you to partner with us, and together we can give your child the most powerful and joyous learning experience possible. We service students from preschool through grade 8 in a safe learning environment. It is our goal to make sure each student is afforded the best education possible with our small classroom sizes. We are the bridge to take your child from adolescence to success. If you are looking for better, you found it at God's Excellent Disciples Christian Academy. For more information, please call 410-433-8182 or access the web at www.pastortonysmith.com/school. If you are looking for better, you found it. God's Excellent Disciples Christian Academy.
Hi, Hi, welcome back to Conversations. Now, right before we left, Evangelist Sai had said something about stupid children, our stupid children, and then Evangelist Chantal jumped in. So let's continue.
It's like it's a fight.
First of all,
Ding.
first of all, I would like to let everybody know all of our kids are not stupid.
Right.
Okay, seriously, they're not. I think there are some kids who are in the school system that don't need the whole year-around thing. Like, there are kids there that says, okay, I'm here for an education, and they have met the honor roll, they have met the dean's roll, whatever you want. But everybody is not in the pot that we say that they're in.
No, I'm not saying, I'm speaking as a whole, and we're talking about education, but you can't say, okay, you made the honor roll, so you're not going to go all year long, but you didn't, so you're going to go all year long. No, it's just, there has to be a curriculum.
No. I think there are some kids that, I mean, if you want to, I think you should. And I do think there are times that some kids need to. But if you have those kids that are doing what they're supposed to do, should they suffer with the other kids?
See,
But
but
it's
that's
not
what I was saying.
suffering.
It's not
That's
about
what I said
suffering.
earlier. Summer
is
school
suffering?
has taken on the connotation of punishment and suffering, and it really isn't. It's giving those kids that are smart
A better edge.
You know, a better competitive edge. Now, Missionary Shantae was saying that, you know, it was more the quality than the quantity.
it's the
And
substance.
I don't disagree
believe
with
both.
that, but I think that because our country has gotten so we lean more towards entertainment than education, I think those additional days are necessary now to make us more disciplined.
Yes.
Because, like you said, Evangelist, what are these kids doing over the summer?
Right. And then you wonder why your kids are getting in trouble. You wonder why all these things are happening.
But guess
So-
what? They get in trouble in school.
No, they do. But I'm talking about as far
They'll
as
be educated in trouble.
when they're home. A lot of times people don't have money to send them to camp. They don't have money to send them to programs. And so while you're at home, I mean at work, 8 or 10 hours a day, your kids are home manning or raising
Well, then
themselves.
put some of that funding into stuff like that then. Instead of funding, you know, football and whatever else, the Preakness and all of that other stuff, you know, put money into funding so they
Why
will
not-
have stuff to do
but
during
why
the
not
summer. Just make them
fund
stay in
education
school.
to give them a better education. Why do we focus so much on activities and curriculum instead of focusing
That's
on
not what I'm
entertainment
saying. I'm
events
saying
nowadays.
put that into, you know, programs where they can be educated during the summertime. That, you know, if that's an option. Let it be an option for people who
I don't agree.
want to send their children, or people feel like their children need to. Because you do have some old school parents who say, I don't care if they're going to pass you. I'm holding you back because I know that you're not doing what you're supposed to do in school.
Well-
So you're going to go to summer school, but they don't have the means to, you know, let their child take part in it. So if there was funding for these types of things instead of foolish things, then they could have an opportunity to get that leg up.
Well, see, I don't think there's a need for summer school if you have a program that's suited for everybody. And I think is that we lack discipline as a society.
I mean, definitely, definitely. But guess what? I can guarantee you that even in the other countries that go 500 days a year, there's still some sort of people who are not following the discipline. There's some people who are cutting up, acting out, or whatever. There's not going to be any perfect society. So 200 days opposed to 100.
No, but I'm talking about when you look at the average of how many people succeed with this structure versus how many people succeed or fail in this structure, then you got to question, wait a minute, what are we doing wrong, and how do we need to restructure this and not get caught up, this is the way we used to do it, or this feels comfortable.
Right, but are more days going to do that, or is better education
think
going
it's
to do
a
I
that?
actually agree with you. It's a new day, it's a new season. We're doing new things, so change it to focus and fit the kids nowadays. So if it calls for being in school for an entire year, then do it, but do it like the 45-15 or the 60-10, whatever the days are. But I do have some stats that I found online. Pros and cons, actually. These are actually proven pros and cons about being in school all year long. Some pros, actually these are some cons. School maintenance costs will go up. And they also say some students with ADD or ADHD are more likely to have behavioral issues, and I believe that's what you were talking about earlier when you said that some kids are more prone to act up. Then also some more cons. I said this earlier, teens won't be able to support their families if they have to go and work. Some pros are there is a noted increase in student attendance if there is school all year long. Then also another pro is reduced teacher absenteeism because they have more frequent vacations. Now, of course, we all know that teachers get stressed out. Stressed out?
No, I'm not. If I'm stressed out, it doesn't have anything to do with me going to be a teacher. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I'm stressed out because of whatever things that I put on myself, or, you know, if I take one too much on my plate, whatever the case may be. It doesn't have anything to do with me going to work. It just may mean stuff piled on top of work. I know that I have to work, so I don't think that, but in the society now, yes, teachers do get stressed, but if we had more funding for education even just the regular school year, because classes are overcrowded. You know, so children can't get the proper attention that they need, and that's another reason for, you know, the statistics being low as far as, you know, not ranking this level in math, science, engineering, spelling, whatever, because they don't have, nobody can get the one-on-one that they need like we could back in the day with 15 to 20 children in a class.
But you know what? I think we depend too much on the teachers. You know, I think we'll say, you know, well, we need to do this with our children. We need to do that with our children. There's a commercial that comes on, I'm sure all of you seen it, and it's a young man sitting at his computer playing video games. As soon as his mother knocks on the door, he switches the computer over to act like he's studying with the iPod in his ear. She says, okay, are you studying? He says yes. He believes her. I mean, she believes him. Closes the door and he's back to watching the video. Okay, that's our fault for thinking that our children are actually studying, because we see them on the computer looking at Wikipedia or whatever. So we say, oh, he's in his room studying. How do we know that? So I think we put too much on the teacher, the guidance counselor, all of those things, instead of just saying, you know what, I need to sit down old school at the table and we need to go one by one of these questions. If I don't know it, thank God for the internet, I'll go on it myself and look and come back to an answer.
Absolutely.
How can we catch up with the rest of the world?
I don't think it's a matter of, see, and that's the thing.
We need to be competitive.
We do, but I think that it shouldn't be. There's so much of a spirit of competition about everything, and I know that that's how life goes, but there has to be balance. Everybody can't be number one.
Okay,
and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be number one. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that it's just too much focus on you only want to learn because they're number one.
No, I mean, we're missing out on a lot of things.
What I think sometimes we understand is that it's almost like you got to put something in front of you to motivate you.
Like in front of a horse.
I completely understand that.
My thing is this, is that we're competing for this top job, is that I'm going to say, oh, competition is not good. No, I want to get this job, so what's going to give me the edge to get this job? Education.
I mean, I understand
the
that.
countries that are all the 16 above us, or maybe the ones just in the top 5, what's different about their school system or structure from what you saw? Do they go to school
besides the year round?
Besides
all year long?
Besides, the thing that stood out to me was the year-long schooling. And then Korea and how they're so disciplined, and they are just like so strict with their education. They start earlier with their education, and
so it works.
It works. And
but they also have a different discipline structure too, because you know here somebody can not show up for school for a week or two and they'll get lost in the system. Oh, they're not here. That's one person that's just not in class. Whereas their discipline structure may be different. You know, they still may, you know, be able to rod a child on their hand if they act out in class or whatever the case may be. You know, I don't know this, but I'm just saying their whole discipline structure is different. And where we have just lost I think, and this is going to, well, no, it doesn't sound crazy. I think that we have taken land of the free to a whole different level. You know what I mean? Everything, because the United States is just a spoiled bunch of people.
I think the answer to your question is that what Evangelist Chantal said, I think we have got to be more involved in the children's education. We want to put it on the teachers and everybody else. But, you know, I was talking to, at the hairdresser, I was talking to one of the teachers' aides, and she said she was reading one of the essays that the kids turned in, and they actually turned in cussing words in the essays. I mean, really, and this is because this is how they write. They write how they
I'm an educator, so I know.
Right. And, you know, the grammar's off. But how many parents actually sit down and say, look, let's go over homework?
They don't.
Like, you know, back in the day where your parents had to sign your homework. So how many parents are actually taking or getting involved and saying, I'm going to take on your education?
Well, the problem is that what we're discussing now is at minimum 2 generations deep. So you've got parents
who don't know.
Who
That's
came up in school systems and didn't get proper education.
Unfortunately, ladies, we do have to end, but I do want to close on this note and ask you guys a question. Who's going to the conference?
Me.
We all are.
I guess she's going.
Victorious Ministries would like to welcome you, our viewers, to our conference. It will be held this year, July the 21st through July the 24th. It will be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Lowe's Hotel. Now, ladies, if you could please add some of the activities that we will be having there. Anyone, gentlemen?
Well, we do have activities for everyone. Again, it's July the 21st through the 24th. It's not just for members, it's for everyone. So even if you're in a different state, you know, please call the office and sign up to go. We have classes planned for youth, 18 to 25, even children 12 and under. We have singles, married and engaged, women, men. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. And of course, we do have lodging available, as again, is at the Lowe's Hotel. And of course, you pay for the entire weekend. It's not a really big cost. If you just call the office, you can get all the information that you need. And that's from that Thursday to that Sunday. We'll be leaving, returning back to everyone's respective churches. So we would indeed like to see you there. So please give us a call, and you're welcome to come and fellowship with Victorious Ministries at our conference.
Well, what about the vendors?
Oh, yeah, I would like to add that. We'll be having vendors. So if you're a vendor, if you have a product that you would like to sell, please call the church office. The number will be at the end of our show. We would love to have you. I would love to see what you're selling. That would probably be big.
She probably bought all that.
Yes.
So please do so.
She
And
has that
also,
issue.
you can also call the church or go on the website at www.pastortonysmith.com. You can register there as well.
And we hope to see you there at our conference. Now, in closing, I'm going to leave you with this. It's an old Chinese proverb. It's not in the Bible. It's an old Chinese proverb. If you give a man a fish, you will feed him for a day. And if you teach a man to fish, you will feed him for a lifetime. My question is, what are we feeding our children? What are we teaching them? We're showing them education is important, or is education not important? So I definitely urge you and I encourage you to take some time in your child's education, and just show him and her, that you really do care. Until we meet again, we'd like to say thank you and farewell. Bye-bye.
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 Hey, Baltimore, I just took time to stop by to let you know about the incredible conference that Victorious Ministry is doing in Pennsylvania, July the 21st to the 24th at the Lowe's Hotel, downtown Pennsylvania. There's going to be classes for your children. There'll be classes for ministry, classes for family. There'll be great teaching and great teachers. And most of all, the move of God. Every night will be the move of God. Go to the website, PastorTonySmith.com, and register now to be a part of the conference.
Glorious Designs is a proud sponsor of the 2011 Victorious Conference.
Our time is up, but yours is not. Don't forget Wednesday night at 7:25 in Victory Ministries Amphitheater on York Road. I want you to come and be a part of our 7:25 service on Wednesday night, this Wednesday. And then don't forget, go to PastorTonySmith.com and log on and get to see all the programming that we come out of Victorious Ministries. So some major things are coming out. Our children's show is coming up soon. And I want you to be able to research and to be a part of what we're doing. God bless you. My time is up, but yours is not. Come and visit Victory, because Victorious Ministries is alive and well.
Camp Judah is back and better than ever with a focus on the arts. Is your child an aspiring singer, actress, or dancer? If they're between the ages of 2 through 12, they should come to Camp Judah. Your child will enjoy 8 weeks of fun from June 21st through August the 12th in the arts, academics, field trips, and even learn a foreign language. Call the Office of Victorious Ministries at 410-433-8066. Or log on to our website, PastorTonySmith.com, for more information and to fill out an application. Camp Judah, where fun and safety go hand in hand.